Imagine boarding a flight with your children only for a stranger to tell you they can sit together because of the color of their skin. What would you do? How far would you go to protect them? Before I take you into this true emotional roller coaster, tell me in the comments, if you were in this mother's shoes, what would you have done? And don't forget to subscribe to Skin Deep Stories so you never miss powerful stories like this one. A warm summer morning. Atlanta International Airport buzzed with the usual chaos, rolling suitcases, boarding calls, and sleepy travelers clutching coffee cups. Michelle Carter, a 35-year-old single black mother, walked through the terminal with her 8-year-old twin daughters, Ava and Amira. The girls were inseparable, not just because they were twins, but because they'd been through everything together. When Michelle lost her husband in a car accident 2 years ago, Ava and Amira became her anchor, and she, theirs. This flight was supposed to be special. They were headed to Seattle to visit Michelle's sister for the first time in years. The twins chattered about the mountains and beaches they'd seen in travel photos. At the gate, Michelle noticed the gate agent avoiding her eyes. When boarding began, the agent scanned their tickets, paused, and frowned. "Ma'am, your daughters will need to be seated separately." Michelle blinked, thinking she'd misheard. "Excuse me?" The agent's tone stiffened. "They're minors, yes, but seating arrangements have changed. One of them will have to be moved further back." Michelle felt a prickle at the back of her neck. She'd booked 3 seats together months ago. Why would you split an 8-year-old from her twin sister and mother? The agent gave a rehearsed smile. "We just need to make some accommodations for another passenger. It's nothing personal." On the plane, the situation became clearer and uglier. The other passenger was a white woman who wanted the aisle seat in their row. The flight attendant, a tall blonde woman with an icy smile, told Michelle that Amira could sit with one of the other children on board. Michelle's stomach turned. She noticed that the other children were all white. Her daughters had already endured stares in the terminal. "No," Michelle said firmly. "My daughters stay with me." The attendant leaned closer, voice dropping. "You don't want to cause a scene, ma'am." Michelle felt the eyes of the passengers burning into her. Ava clutched her arm. Amira's lip trembled. She realized this wasn't just about a seat, this was about the message it would send her girls. She took a deep breath, stood up, and raised her voice. "Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention? The crew is trying to separate me from my children. Because they want to give our seats to someone else. They expect my 8-year-old daughters to sit with strangers." Murmurs rippled through the cabin. A few people shifted uncomfortably. The white woman in question avoided eye contact. From row 12, a black couple stood up. "They can take our seats," the man said firmly. "We'll move." A Latino man nearby added, "This is ridiculous. They're kids. Let them stay together." The flight attendant's jaw tightened. She muttered something into her radio and disappeared into the galley. 5 minutes later, the captain himself walked down the aisle. "Ma'am, I've been informed there was an issue with seating," he said to Michelle. "Yes," Michelle replied, her voice steady. "The issue is racial bias disguised as seat reassignment. My girls and I deserve to sit together, just like any other family." The captain's eyes swept the row, then the cabin. "You'll keep your seats." "And I apologize." A ripple of applause broke out. Ava and Amira squeezed Michelle's hands. Hours later, when the plane landed in Seattle, Michelle thought it was over. But as she disembarked, a man in a suit approached her. "Michelle Carter?" "Yes. I'm Michael Reynolds, head of passenger relations for this airline. I watched the cabin footage. What you don't know is, your story is going to change our training policies forever." And he handed her an envelope. Inside was a first-class travel voucher for 3, valid for any destination in the world. Michelle looked at her girls. For the first time in 2 years, they weren't just surviving, they were smiling wide, like they could go anywhere. What would you have done in Michelle's place? Do you think the airline's response was enough? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Skin Deep Stories for more powerful, true stories that matter.